And I'm now delighted to be joined by Sinn Fein candidate for Carlow Kilkenny, the Kilkenny candidate on their ticket, Natasha Newsome Drennan. Natasha, you got a very, very good vote for a first time candidate. You must have been very, very pleased.
Absolutely delighted with it. It's unreal. Yeah, it's brilliant. Look, it was great. I loved it. I had great fun doing it. I love talking to people anyway. Uh, there's nothing like I was asked before. There's nothing that I didn't like about it. But I would take 1,000 more days canvassing than here today. Yeah, this is the tough bit.
We're not here to catch anyone else, so
Yeah.
you're in very safe hands. And when you were chatting to people on doors, what were the big issues that were coming up?
Well, mostly housing, and disabilities, from not having services to not getting assessment of need. Just a lot of that. And I suppose because that's the sector I work in, that was coming back to me. You just have people with 30-odd-year-olds living in the parents, and they just can't get them out of the house. Not that they don't love their children, but they just can't. They can't just get on the property market at all. Like, rent is too dear, and they just can't save up enough money for to get a down payment, and it's just it's crazy. Housing.
It is so. Housing being the number one issue, but overall, you've had a very, very good campaign between two candidates. You've kind of, if vote management was, if you were to say, here's an example of good vote management, you did it with the Carlow and Kilkenny candidates, and you both polled very well.
Yeah, oh look, for first time candidates, the two of us, I know we both ran in the locals.
Yeah.
But it's brilliant. It's really, really great, because we were unknown. But then it just goes to show the work that we did put in during the campaign. We were out every day, every night, chatting to people, and that just shows that just does pay off,
And when you are out canvassing and you're talking to people and an issue might come up, having an MEP and councillors to tap into as well, that's very, very important as well, I imagine, to kind of getting those issues resolved and getting votes out of it as well.
Yeah, look, I suppose, we got a few. Most of them are council issues. So Stephanie Dohenny in the Caolan Thomastown, Stephanie would have been great dealing with things like that. But also people looking for school places and stuff, so Kathleen would have helped out with that as well. And it's great to have Kathleen's, to have access to Kathleen was great. So look, and the other big issue actually, just in relation to that, is basically people just, they get their wages in, and it's what hole do they put the money in? And it's there's nothing left, there's nothing left. There's no pot there for a rainy day. People just can't seem to get ahead, and that was definitely, I felt that a lot on the doors. Yeah.
Absolutely. So cost of living is still very, very real.
Sure.
I know people say, inflation has come down a bit, but for everybody, they are still feeling it in their pocket.
They're not feeling it in their pocket. No, absolutely not. No, look, there's no enjoyment anymore. There's no little bit extra that you might go to a pub or something like that. There's none of that anymore. And you can see, our local pubs and all closing down because people don't have that money in their pocket. And they need to get back to that. People need to have a little bit of enjoyment in their life as well. And that keeps the world going round. It keeps everybody happy. It gives, that bit of money to, those luxuries that we all want every now and again. It's not like that people want to be rich. And I definitely got that from the doors. It's just a case of living, surviving. And people are barely in survival mode. They're barely surviving.
And of course, you have many, many years' experience working in the disability sector. What would you like to see the new government be? Maybe Sinn Fein will be in it, maybe they won't. But whatever the next government is, what would you like to see them do specifically to help people working in the disability sector and people that rely on the services of disability organisations?
Well, look, I'm with the Brothers of Charity in Ferrybank. and conditions there are, pretty good. But it's not so much for the adults with disabilities. I think we need to start at the children. We need to start getting assessment of need first, then having a follow on, whether it's a school place or if it's another service to go on to. Like, we need to give the children their best chance. Like, it's like early intervention is key, and it's amazing what early intervention can do. And if we don't get that sorted now, like, it's raining on those children now, it's raining on their families, it's raining on their parents' health, because that's a snowball effect on our health service as well. And this is the kind of invisible stuff that people don't actually see. People are so stressed out. There's people out there that are on the second mortgage. They're trying to pay for everything for their children, and then they come to the stage where there's no money left in the pot, and it's breaking their hearts that they can't help their children, and that's what it is. And it's their stress levels are through the roof, and if we don't get that sorted now, what we're probably going to have in probably 10 years' time is we're going to have doubled our adult services, because we couldn't be bothered to help out the children now and give them the best shot at life. And why are they not entitled to a shot just like everybody else?
Absolutely. And speech and language therapy, I
All
think
of the
that's
services.
a big issue.
All of them.
And another
Okay,
issue.
all of the services. We just don't have enough. Look, we're training the best. And because they haven't got access to housing and better conditions, they're leaving. We're training the best for them to leave. And look, I have 4 young lads, and I'd love them to be able to call Ireland home and to look at Ireland and say, yeah, I want to grow up here. I want to get my family. I want to have a family here, and I want them to be, comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. It's just comfortable.
Exactly. Because in the past, when we had downturns, now people have emigrated because there was no work here. They made that choice, but now they're making the choice because they can't afford to live here.
Oh yeah, that's it. And that's, okay, I know some people, they want to emigrate, right? And that's fine. But the majority of people would love to stay here. They'd love to call Ireland home. And why do we train the best to send them away?
That's a very, very fair point.
But going back to disabilities,
Yeah.
right? So if we can put in the funds now, we can, we will, it'll cost money now, but we will save it in the long run.
Absolutely.
And it will be less of an effect on our health service, and then that'll free up other areas too. But we do need to spend the money now, and it will cost money. I don't have figures for you now what it'll cost, because I don't think anybody has figures, because I think it's just been neglected. I don't think anybody has really looked into it properly enough. Like with Sinn Fein, they would have extra places. They're trying to retain the staff better, and obviously housing is that biggest gap there that needs to be filled. If you have a roof over your head, the one thing that you can give your children is by giving them a roof over their head. That's stability. And that's a base. That's a home.
Exactly.
And if you don't have a home, you can't have any of the rest of the things. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. We all need a home, and without that base, things can be very difficult. But Natasha, it was a pleasure speaking to you. It's the first time I've spoken to you during this election campaign. You've got a really, really good vote, so congratulations on that. And you're very, very much still in the hunt for a seat. So who knows? The next time we speak, it could be Natasha Newsome Drennan TD. So we wish you all the best for the rest of this election count.
Thanks a million. Thank you.